Hey, welcome back. I am feeling so good. It's starting to actually become warm here in Canada, or at least where I am, and it's so freaking nice. Um, and I get to answer a question today. Let me fix my hair. I've been outside. I get to answer one of your questions, which is one of my favorite ways to record these videos because I know that I'm genuinely answering exactly what you need to hear right now. And so I've been talking so much about launching lately, and I'm bringing out a brand new course in the next couple of weeks called Lazy Girl's Guide to Launching, where I share with you my exact live launch strategy that allows me to really only sell for a few weeks each quarter and then get completely off the gas for the rest of the time. So I really only sell for 30% of the year, and 70% of the year I get to work on creative projects and things that are interesting to me. And so I've been talking a lot about launching lately, and a few of you have, we've been having conversations in the DMs and stuff. And what I keep hearing back is, can you just tell me, what am I supposed to be doing and when am I supposed to be doing it? And that's really the big thing. And I think that's what, I'm really excited to share with people inside the program. But I wanted to give you an idea of literally when I'm doing all of my launch activities in today's video. And on top of that, I've also created a launch checklist that you can get your hands on. It's alyssacoleman.ca/checklist. And I'll put the link here for sure, but you can get your hand on that. Okay, hand or hands. Okay, so I want to walk you through everything. Tommy's being all cute, typical. Everything that I do month by month. And so I break it down into four main categories, and I spend a month on each one. So the very first category and the whole first month is all about the mindset. This month is really dedicated to you preparing yourself strategically and mentally for your next launch. So that means figuring out exactly what your launch plan is going to be, knowing which strategy you plan to deploy during your actual launch phase. This is when you set your goals. This is when you forecast and figure out how many leads do I need, what kind of conversion rates do I need on my webinar or at my challenge, how many phone calls do I need to have with potential clients if you close on discovery calls, all of that stuff. That needs to happen in the first month. But this is also the time. This month is where I dedicate as much space as possible to making sure that I'm clearing up my own side of things energetically. So if I have a really big goal, um, I need to get over any upper limits, mindset blocks, self-sabotage patterns, or anything like that that I know might get in the way of me hitting this new target that I want to hit. So this month is all about that, going inward, figuring out some of the more mindset style things for my launch. So there's not too much that needs to happen here in terms of actual work other than you setting your launch strategy this month. But that's really the fun part if you ask me. So perfect your offer as well and make sure that your positioning is really clear. That needs to happen here too, so that you're really confident when you show up and you make your offer. Okay, so then let's get into month 2. This month is all about growth. This is really important because you want to make sure that you have dedicated more than enough time, at least 2 full months of time where you are dedicated to finding an audience who is the perfect fit for your program. Don't try to stuff your offer onto the group of people that you already have. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You want to make sure that you are growing your community right here and right now with a group of people who are absolutely perfect for this offer. And you can do that in a lot of different ways. You want to make sure that you have a freebie that's out there that pre-qualifies anybody who downloads this and is interested in it is going to be interested in my offer that I'm going to launch in a little while. So make sure that you're growing. This is a great time to launch some ads if you're doing that. Figure out what your organic marketing strategy is going to be. All of that stuff needs to happen here in month 2. And this is also when you can start to think about what your launch is actually going to look like in terms of writing launch copy, getting clear on the details. When's your webinar going to be? What are you going to talk about in the webinar? All of that needs to start coming together here because those things are going to be part of your growth strategy. Okay, so that's what I do in month 2. And if you want to know the week by week breakdown, it's in the checklist, so you can grab that. Then we get into month 3, and this is all about nourishment. You probably guessed it. But this is really important because now you've grown that audience, but they might not be ready for your offer yet because maybe they just got here. So you want to make sure that you are going in and you are very strategically nourishing your community with the types of things that they need to hear before they're ready to join your program. So this is if they're not problem aware yet, this is where you need to make sure that you get them very clear on what their problem is, the problem that your program solves, if they have this problem, of course. Don't just be like, you have this problem. But kind of shine a light on, hey, is this coming up for you? Because if it is, that's what this course solves. And some people don't even know that they have the problem that needs solving. Very important time to start making that clear. If they are problem aware, do they know about your solution? This is when you want to start talking about your solution, getting people to see it from your perspective, getting people to understand your philosophy, your working style, your coaching style, if you're a coach, your design style, if you're like a creator, whatever it is, this is very important. And this is where we implement what I call our pre-launch hype strategy. This is absolutely key. I have a whole video on it. If you want to see that, I shared about it a couple weeks back, and I am going to share my specific pre-launch hype strategy inside the program as well. And I've never shared this with anyone before. So I have shared it with my one-on-one clients, but that's it. And in month 3, this is also when you start to announce your launch event. So when, if you're hosting a webinar or a giveaway or a challenge or whatever it's going to be for you, a live event, this is where you want to announce that and host it, because that is going to warm people up. It's going to nourish them, get them super hot. And so if you don't have a live launch event or you've never done that before, this is really, really important. So spend some time figuring out how to have a highly converting webinar or a challenge or whatever it is that you're going to do. This is really key for a super effective launch. And then the last month is all about the offer. This is where most of the work is already done. I've already written my launch emails. I've hosted my webinar. I've figured out what my socials are going to be. I've grown my audience. I have my ads running. This is when you just get to open the cart to the public and show up for that launch. I pretty much clear my calendar so that anything else that I want to do that's not already scheduled, I have the space in my calendar to do that. If I want to take discovery calls, if I want to hop on a live video, if I want to answer the DMs that might be coming in, anything like that, I clear my schedule so that I can make this launch really next level. So all the work should be done by now. Then you open the cart, you close the cart. And at this point, this is when I'm very strategic about making sure that you have a time period where you actually rest and recharge. Launching can take a lot out of people, especially if this is your first time doing it. But then after that, the last step and the very important step to a lazy launch is to recycle that launch. So you want to analyze the data from your last launch, figure out what worked, what didn't, what do we want to do different next time, and what parts of this launch can we actually recycle for the next launch? And how do I do that in a way that's actually super effective and make sure that my next launch is even more effective than this one? So with this model, every launch should be getting easier and easier and easier, especially if you're launching the same thing. Because if you think about it, if you've launched a freebie in the growth phase, that freebie should still work for the next time you launch if you're launching the same offer, and maybe the same ads will work, and there's so much that can be recycled. So this is where you want to spend some time recycling that launch, figuring out when's my next launch going to be, and then you can come off the gas. So it's really a slow and intentional model that starts working for you after you've done it the first time. So that's what I do. That's my month by month breakdown. If you want the weekly checklist, you can grab it at alyssacoleman.ca/checklist. But I hope that was helpful for you. And if you have any other questions about live launching, 2 things you can do. Number 1, shoot me a DM and ask me, or in the comments. Number 2, if you're interested in the program, Lazy Girl's Guide to Launching, get on the interested list. I'll leave a link here for that as well. And anybody on the interested list for the program gets a bunch of really cool bonuses. And one of them is a one-on-one launch strategy session with me. So I'm going to deep dive into your business, everything that's going on with you, talk about your audience, and figure out what's going to be the best launch strategy for you that we then execute during the course of the program. Plus, there's a really sexy coupon that you get as well, and that's only available for people who are on the interested list. So if you are thinking about it, get on the list. There's no commitment, but you will get first access as well as all those other bonuses that I just mentioned. So very excited to share this program with you guys. I think it's going to be something that makes launching a lot less scary for a lot of really cool entrepreneurs. All right. I hope this is helpful, and I will chat with you guys next week as well.